It's great to see you, Mr. Just it's in this goodness, nest, talk with the sainted, it's listen, it's deep, artle. Nes gwelwch nes edrych nes ti gwntol ac sach o anach. Ac sy'n mwch sy'n le sesw ac sy'n slang ac sy'n gysle chapa sy'n i le dal mwch yn anach. My name is holding two names right now, Stalwart and Jessinkton, and I'm from here in Jottle, part of the Oksana people. I first was asked by members of the Circle Council to be represented at the Clam Garden meetings some time ago when I first started as elder advisor.
I need to high school. How come in this fall? Need some college. So it's this year. In this now. Need Malachas. I should think the eyes. The mug the eyes. Lalimatan. Tamachas. My traditional name is Switstisia from Malaha. My grandfather was my culture. My father. I believe I got involved, I don't know how many years ago. It was with stay out in St. Clement Circle with Parks Canada, having us go out to Pender Island and the clam beds there, and being involved with Russell Island and with the school, with the children that travel here every summer.
My name is Aaron Sam. My given name is Mamalak. I've been the provider for 10 reserves for many years. And my family comes from East Saanich to Sale. My grandfather is Fred Underwood, and my grandmother was Eva Wise from Nanaimo, and Stanley Muscle from Chilliwack, and Sophie Muscle from. I got approached by my uncle Lou Claxton, asked me to do this, to go help reseed the clam gardens if I was interested.
Hi, Rachel, Sim Gilcha, Local Sessions, and Chocolate Sness, just last night, Energy, Chocolate. My name is Ty Swallow, and I'm a very humble and grateful settler here in Chocolate. And I work at the City School Board. I got involved with the Clam Garden project. I think it was Sky who probably approached me and wanted to look at the idea of science and culture camps.
I just wait till it's delicate. The gewoon is net grammig. We niet om net Tom Smith. Mens net geluk alleenig. Niet om net Henry Smith. Nee. Ten net gewoon daarna. Niet om net Kathleen Smith. I'm from here, from Strassel. My dad's from Strassel. My mom was from Port Alberni. I've been involved with this clam bedding for 5 years now. I'm happy I'm a part of this work. And to be with all the people that came and helped us out and to carry on what we want to keep going to do. And I got involved to by our band. They wanted 2 people from each band to represent our band. And I didn't know what I was getting into, but I just said I'm going to go because I grew up clam digging and everything, and that's what our people really like the seafood and all the wildlife. And I'm glad I got asked to do this.
My name's Robert Sampson. I'm from the Sartlet First Nations. My father, he's from Sarlip here, and my mother, she's a Cowichan. I've been with Parks Canada for, I don't know, a little over 4 years. Like Tom was just saying, that we just got asked, and ever since we started, it's like I never knew what we were going to be doing and everything, but as our days kept on going, our months kept on going by, you know, it was just more interesting to do something, rebuild something that was built from our elders, and just to keep the beaches clean. That's another thing that I like what we have done with Parks Canada too.
My name is Patacha. My English name is Irma Smith. Polino is my dad. Lumtana is my mother. Polino is Henry Smith. Lumtana is Kathleen Smith, and I am from Sartland Band. I'm here to just support the patch.
My name is Tana. I'm scared of everyone that's here.
You know, when Creator walked the land with our ancestors, like our elders told us that the Creator walked the land with our ancestors and made some of our homelands and made some of our islands out of our ancestors. And when they did that, when Creator Helps did that, he tossed them out there into the sea. And as he tossed them out and changed them into those islands, he said, look after your relatives, look after your relatives. He tossed them out. And they became those islands. And it means look after your relatives. And went further on to do more of the creation work long ago with our ancestors before us, and was laying down the laws of how we should live. And some of those young people didn't want to be changed by a Creator, but He changed them because they were hiding away from Him. He said, we don't want Creator to change us. He's changing some of our people, our relatives, into different things, and they want to be changed. So they were hiding away from Chels, but Chels could hear their words. So he went there and he said, why are you hiding in the beach? Because they had themselves buried along the beach in the sand, because they were hoping that he would pass by in his canoe. And he went ashore there and asked them why they were hiding. And he said, well, we don't want to be changed by Chels. We want to remain the way we are. And he said, you shouldn't question Chels. If Chels is going to change, it's for the good of all. That's what he told them. And sometimes you don't have a choice in life, what happens. And that's the lesson I want you to learn today. So he changed them into all those seafoods, those shellfish. Right from the wamalush to the gooey duck, to the swam, the horse clams, to the aqua, the butter clams, the squatay, the little necks, and the long, the ones that live shallow, the cockle clams. All those were changed, and they became those ones that are living in the sand of the beach now. And that was a law that was laid down for us. And it gave our ancestors teachings and values to live by. So our people did what Creator asked them to do. Look after those islands. Because the word Petechis means relative of the deep. It also means island. And so that became law to our ancestors, to look after those places, look after those things, and remember the teaching of how those clams came to be.
My late mother-in-law used to say, you look right around Vancouver Island, all the Rocky Mountains right around. She said that's protecting us. We don't have hurricanes and tornadoes because those mountains are protecting us. She said, limit. It's like a blanket.
our people were very careful about looking after those things, and always did. You know, you could eat any clam along the shore, along the beds. It wasn't poisonous in any way. Our people looked after that, something sacred to us, and the sacred connection that we have to those memories of the ancestors telling us that Creator put it there for us to look after, take care of. If they're cultivated and that, and you always leave some, it's always going to be healthy. But when you leave it, they get sick and they die off in numbers, big numbers. And for the Sandwich people, our biggest trade item inland, up into the Frisian inland was the dried clams. They had, like May said, those strings and strings and strings of dried clams. There's pictures of them, both shoulders full of dried clams heading off to trade inland for things we didn't have here, like wool from up in the interior. We didn't have those down here, so they traded inland to make their swakwas, which is the big blankets, the ceremonial blankets that they had. They traded inland for all that, and they looked after it. We have a long, true history here. It's our sacred responsibility to remain.
I'd like to be working the beaches, and I'd like to be still stay involved with all this too, just because that's our food.
The Creator Himself gave it to us. And how to look after this place so there'll always be plenty. I think that the young people need to hear it and understand it for a long time to come.
And that's a real honor for us to share. That you don't keep all the teachings in your pocket. Take your hands out of your pocket and share the teachings. Don't keep it within you. You got to give and share, or nobody's going to know how it's done. People behind their desk need to really hear my nephew. The hard work all his life. My nephew, like here, their daily work. Going down and helping and digging clams and have 2 buckets of clams. They go share it with all the families. They keep a little for themselves. We give, we don't keep, we're not being stubborn and keep it for ourselves. You know, and that's just all the love in their heart for helping, really helping those that are hurting. And that's how it is here.
In these kind of projects, it's always like such a short term. There's a term to it. We never had a term when we were living on the lands. It was a life job to do, a life's job to do. And all those teachings were passed from one generation to the next. We didn't have to go look for a grant or anything else to do what we had to do. It just had to be done. And that was a natural way of living. And it just went on. And there was no question. You know, it was a man or a woman or children. It was all involved. It was a family affair. And everybody learned from one another and helped one another. That's the way it was, and it should always be that way. It's important, these education programs that are happening along the shores, so that and like Ty Swallow was saying, with the scientists and our old knowledge is working together to educate the younger people about that and the importance of it.